Little 8 podcast. You're here listening live and direct. It's not live, but you're here with me, Jermaine Riley, Ricardo Williams, and Cherry Von Saylor, right? We've got some hot topics to discuss. Please like, share, subscribe when you see the videos and you get the banter and you get the laughter and you get, you get the tea, when you want to spread it around. Please support any which way you can. And we're still at the precipice of the beginning. It just makes sense that you help us grow and you grow with us and you allow us to reach all the different corners of the world that the algorithm will allow.
That was a great intro, by the way. That was a great intro.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this one, like I said, this has kind of crept up on me. The last one I feel like was a smash hit. The topics that we were discussing in the last podcast, where we're about the Neo and Tank and the DMs and all this type of stuff.
Didn't your guys because my DMs was going mad after that. Was the same thing for you guys? Like people saying that happened to me too, happened to me too.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone called me and I was like, oh my gosh, I just watched you guys think. First of all, you guys podcast is fire. And second of all, wow, I didn't know that Neo was carrying on. Like, yeah, I got all that type of conversation afterwards.
Yeah.
I definitely got a lot of people saying, wow, this has happened to me. This person hit me. Do you know which one? I'm not sure if I should say it, but I'm going to say it because of whatever. You know which one lashed me the most? Eric Bellinger.
Yes!
What happened?
Somebody put a YouTube comment under it and said, oh yeah, Eric's doing it as well.
Yeah, that one lashed me. That one lashed me, man. Out of everyone else, that one lashed me. But I just thought, oh man.
Look at Jermaine disappearing. Look.
Oh God.
Oh gosh. But again, these are guys who are 100% solely relying on music to a certain degree, innit? So, and because the music industry's changed so drastically, it's like there's only so far you can really. There's only so much you can do nowadays.
And that's the thing, and I'm still stand by one of the things I said last time, and I'm sure you guys agree. It's just like we know people pay for features all the time, but just let there be a mutual exchange.
This is it.
That's what the ask is, really. It's not like, oh, how could you be charging people for features? People do it all the time. Labels do it all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
Actually when you pay for it, you actually get like a little bunk up and a little promo and you get little, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not 60 streams.
That's a joke. That is a joke.
Certified cosign, so. Not
60 streams, bro. 60 streams. By the time I could go shop and come back and leave my thing on repeat and it will had played 60 times. So what's that?
It is mad. It is mad. Do you know what? To be fair though, like Cherry said, I would pay $650 for a certified cosign,
For a bruv, first of all, we've all had features on our thing and not had to pay a damn thing, right? So if it's obviously someone that you don't have a connection with and you just want to cool, let me just, I don't know, just someone random who's popping right now. Oh, let me just reach out to so-and-so. And you think to yourself, cool. Your price is already probably higher, way higher than that for what you'd probably have to pay. So you're thinking that's a bargain thing. But and really and truly, who's to say that if they actually pushed it, it wouldn't blow you up?
This is what I'm saying.
It's the not pushing after the fact.
Mad.
It's the absolute, let me take your things and good luck with your career. After that, basically. It's that energy. That's why it's that's the only thing that makes it. I won't judge no one for the hustle.
Right.
If it was like, I need to put my fans on, it's going to be a mutual exchange. I'm going to slide in some of the talented ones' DMs, hook them up. You could be doing all types of things. You could be doing like workshops and presentations and like co-signing people, and
even Zoom presentations, Zoom panel things.
Like you could literally be killing this thing and elevating yourself, elevating your whatever legendary status you have by reaching back and pulling someone up or whatever, reaching down, up, whatever, back, whichever way you want to go. But it's after the fact. It's what happens. It's the 60 streams on a degga mixtape that no one's ever gonna hear. That you basically, it's total scam vibe, and that's the only reason why it has a negative connotation amongst the world right now. It's because of what happens after it. Imagine one of them, imagine Tank just decided to, actually, guys, I know that you how you man are moving, but I'm actually gonna gonna put 2 of my songs on here as well. Yeah. And do you get me? Like, bro, what's you stopping anything? This is pandemic, and at this point, with how people are hustling and flowing, anything goes. So who's to stop Tank being like, cool, you pay me this? Everyone's not gonna be able to say shit if Tank's put 2 of his tunes on there as well, pushed it weekly or whatever, put on his live, gone through the songs on his live thing or whatever. No one can say shit after that, bro. But it's the fact that you go about your life and you just take people's money and you know that it's not going to do nothing. That's all I have to really say about it. It's like you're not doing the humane thing after the fact.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's it.
With that. You know what? Go on, Cherry. No, go on.
And with that being said, if y'all don't know what we're talking about, check out the last episode.
That's
right.
Well, I think we need to do it for Clubhouse. We should talk about it in Clubhouse. Let people share their stories.
I'm on it because you know, Ricardo, as you do, you need to come up with a really good clickbait room title.
Don't worry, I got you.
And then we get this conversation cracking.
Yeah, man. There's going to be a whole bunch of people flooding in there.
I feel like this needs to be like
abolished.
Yes.
Abolished like slavery, you know.
Yes. You know when they say back in the day when they used to say, is it banished? So everybody
it needs to be absolute exile on this whole concept, bro.
From all type people DMs.
Yeah, man, it's wickedness.
So, what's been going on with you guys since the last podcast? How's it been going on? How's it been going down, going on, going in, going out?
Ricardo, anything exciting to share?
Yeah. So you know what's funny? Because at the end of the last, I kept it in, didn't I? At the end of the last podcast, and I said, "Oh yeah, when this podcast drops, I should have little Bubba." So that was 45 minutes after that. Michelle's waters broke. Mad. I was still sat here like editing up things, and then Michelle just messaged because she was upstairs. She messaged me and said, "Yeah, I think my water's just broke." Cause like, oh my god, it's go.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, man. It was a beautiful moment, man. Like, I don't want to like kill this podcast with like my experience of it, but it's just a beautiful moment to just see. I tell you what, for me, as like to watch women do what they do, it's mad. It's mad. Like, as much as I love my daughter, you couldn't pay me to do what Michelle did or do what women do. Nah, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it at all. It's mad.
No.
And it's funny. It's funny you say kill the podcast, but it's not, because it's like, obviously this is a lot of this is about our truths and our journey, and
right.
This is life.
It's so nice to see Black love, Black marriage, and a Black man celebrating his wife and women and really appreciating the gift of motherhood and the struggles that come.
Yeah.
Like, we need to hear.
Funny you say that, because this morning Michelle had to have a hearing test. Ari had to have a hearing test. So Michelle had to, because because Tia. So I've got two kids, Aria and Tia. Aria's the new one. Tia's the old one.
The old one, you know.
The older one.
The old Pitney.
The old Whitney. Because we're homeschooling, in it, because of COVID. So I couldn't go to the appointment. So Michelle had to get up and get ready and go. So I couldn't help out. And I was like, can you imagine if, like, honestly, single parents, hats off, man.
Allow it.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how they do it. There's two of us, and like we've done it already, and it's still difficult now on the second time round.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. Single parents, 100%.
And it's funny because when I hear couples talk about how hard it is between them, I think what you just said, like single parents,
I don't know how to do it.
What do you know?
Backside.
I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it's mad.
It's magic. It's like there's some sort of magic involved because I don't know. Like at least me and Michelle we're alternating. Like I'm doing shifts, then she'll pick up in the morning and I'll pick up in the afternoon. Then we were like tag teaming. Do you know what I mean? So at least even if you need to get like a little 3-4 hours sleep, or you just want to escape and go and upstairs or in another room and just kind of have a me time. If you're a single parent, there's none of that. You're just you're in it, which is mad.
24 hours a day.
Hats off, man. Hats off.
So what date was she born?
The 12th of Feb.
Just before Valentines.
Valentines.
Hey, what did you do for Valentines?
What did I do?
Cherry had a good one, didn't it?
Cherry, say what you're saying. Speak on your situation.
You still got the rose.
Speak on your situation.
Go on, Cherry. How was your Valentine's?
Very lovely, though.
Oh, come on.
It was very nice.
Oh gosh, at least I know my boy is holding it down.
Isn't it?
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What did I say again? The lady never tells.
So well, right.
Oh gosh, a lady going like this.
A lady never tells.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Jermaine, how was yours, man?
How was Jermaine?
Yeah, it was cool, man. It was cool. It was cool. It was cool, man. It was cool for what it was. It was cool for what it was.
Do you know what's cracking me up? It's that you know what's cracking me up? Yeah. It's those words. The position of your head, your glasses, looking very LA right now, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Cool, man. It's cool for what it was. Very LA.
It was cool, man. I mean, I was working on something, so it took up a lot of the day. It's just, it's trying to juggle work and all the rest of it, and it just kind of swooped in. But we exchanged gifts and pleasantries and all the rest of it, so it was nice. Like, but it wasn't like Champs-Elysees trip to anywhere, eating out, nothing. You get me?
Anyway,
exactly.
That's your big balling shot calling. Yeah, you ain't going no place.
Right.
So I was grateful for what he got me though. Hold on, let me show you.
He does give good gifts though, I'm not gonna lie.
Huh?
I said he does give good gifts.
Yeah, you
That's
sick. That is sick.
Remember, so what people do on Valentine's? They give you gifts.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The last time we was like, oh, yeah, I got him a blah, blah, blah. And you was like, what? Wait. you was like, what? I meant to get some. Like,
what people do on Valentine's?
Yeah, babe. Yeah. And he got one of them muscle gun things I got him because he loves to get massaged.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Beat up the thing different,
Okay, right.
Oh, it's very hot in here.
Okay, right. So this subject, next subject, speaking of relationships, two major breakups is going on.
Krept.
Oh yeah.
Is going through something or went through something amicably, apparently. And it's so funny that there's 2Ks or 3Ks. KKK? Oh gosh, we can't talk about it. Yeah, Kanye and Kim and Krept and Sasha. Yeah, man.
So the Krept and Sasha one, I was saying to Cherry just before we started, I rate it the way that they're doing it, the way that it's been done, and I rate, especially when kids are involved. So getting with someone and having any sort of, I don't know, investment in time, love, energy, whatever, yeah, it's always difficult when you have to walk away from that situation. Because sometimes I think as individuals, you know, if you're walking away, you're losing out. You're taking a piece of you is left behind, and sometimes the thought of that is a lot easier. It's a lot easier to stay than to actually make that move and leave, because what you're going to lose or what you feel like you stand to lose. When you throw a child in the mix of that, it's like 10,000 times more. So to see the bravery in that decision to be like, you know what, as a couple, whether it's now or whether it's forever, we're not working. And the best thing for us to do is to live our life separately, but raise this child together. 100% rate that, especially in our community. Like, we don't talk about this because there's a lot of grandparents and our parents that they sleep in separate rooms, and we don't twig what that's about. But
each other,
right? They can't stand each other, but they're still married. And I think that's, for me, on one hand, I rate that they hold marriage that high, that all right, whatever comes, I'm not gonna break this bond. But on the other hand, it must be a sad life to like be paired to someone, you know, it's not gonna work. So what Krept and Sasha are doing, I rate highly, man. I take my hat off, because it's a lot of bravery to do that, to walk away from something like that. So yeah, man,
it made me sad when I heard it, you know. I was like, oh.
I hear that.
Like, I don't know
especially because from his side of things, sorry to cut you, from his side of things, like, and I think I remember a tweet him saying, like, how come no one told me that fatherhood is like this lit? Yeah. Like, he was so happy, like, with the child and blah blah. So to see that, obviously, that side of it not work out, obviously they still have the fruit of their love in the child. But yeah, it is saddening.
It is, isn't it?
It is.
Do you know what's funny as well? It's like, obviously this pales in comparison to you know, a mother and a father having a child and not working out. But even when I split up with my ex, the ex that, like, my nephew's 6 and we split up when he was 4. So like, all he knows is me and this person, right? So sleeping over, and like when I was too busy, like he would have my nephew and days, and do you get me? So when you have to explain that someone is not around like that anymore, it's like, that part to me, it just got to the point where it was like, oh, bro, please don't, please stop now. It was like, where's, but you get, it's like, it's really like, because you can't even say, it's just like, oh, we're not friends no more. You know? Why not? Oh gosh.
Well, are you friends though? Are you still friends?
No, we don't speak. Like, it was very toxic in the end. It's not to put out my business, but yeah, like Like, there's no need in it. Like, and my history with my relationship history, is best that I don't really speak to my exes like that, because it's just not good. I wouldn't recommend it, just because it's just messy, man. I'm a man of peace now. Like, I just want peace. I just want to, no drama. Like, I don't want it to be like so-and-so should, like, someone just randomly decide. I don't want no one to have the freedom to just text me because they can, like, and all them type of things. And it's just like, oh, why is what? Like, I'm too old. I'm too old for it.
I'm a grown-ass man, dog.
I'm a grown-ass man. None of this. Tell us about Monica Lewinsky. None of that energy. Do you get me? Like, I have no time for it.
Yeah.
So,
so I don't find that I've ever, like, hung on and been in close proximities to anybody that I was in a relationship, to be honest, with. And, like, even coming from a marriage standpoint, and now, like, going through a divorce, and now, like, I don't know, letting go of my stepmother status, like, it's insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even think, like, that never even crossed my mind.
Yeah, so it's just like getting over that initially, which was like a couple of years ago, is mad. It's obviously like everybody has to kind of let go. It's like when you with somebody, as you said, Jermaine, it's like you're in a relationship with them, but you're in a relationship with their family as well, isn't it? You're divorcing a family and you're letting go of a name if you're a woman, and all those things, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
Wow.
Even there was even reservations going into my new relationship, just about the quickness of that, like, all meeting mom and family, and like, he's got 2 nephews and a niece. I've got 2 nephews now, and just that family exchange thing, like, he had his reservations just because I think, like, he has reservations about me, just because of how I was carrying on in these streets before we got together. So he was just like taking his time. You get me? So I get it, because it's a lot when the children start loving you and blah blah blah.
Is it?
Like, even now, if it ever didn't work out, my nephew loves him. Do you get me? Like, that's a whole different, that's a reset. He's a business about the old one now. Do you get me? Like, he's like, where are you now? Are you like, he wants to know from at the yard. He wants to know if I come around the yard. He's not asking me, oh, I love you, Jermaine, blah, do you get me? Like, he's got that energy. He's absolutely besotted by him now. So this thing can't finish because I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, and done me love, innit? Could you imagine? Oh, this is it. You better keep your backside quite right, just up. This is it, mate.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, shout out to Krept and Sasha for keeping it amicable. I don't know how it's gonna work out for Kim and Kanye though.
Listen,
with their village.
Listen, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say.
Go for it.
And whoever doesn't like it can chew a straw. Anyway, that whole marriage for me just never felt right. Like, I never felt like, and I know it's bad. I'm in my head, like, there's the angel on one shoulder, there's the devil on the other right now, and the angel is saying, actually, don't talk about people's relationship, and the devil is saying, go for it. But for me, I just felt like, I always felt like for Kanye, he didn't need that in his life. He needed stability, and the Kardashians don't, from an outside point of view, and I'm always going to talk from what I can see, and obviously I'm not in their inner circle. I don't know how much of their life is fiction and for entertainment and for the brand, but from what I can see, and like, let's call it Kanye's demise, he needed stability, and he needed, like, is it normal? No, like, what's the word? Like,
normalcy.
Yeah, just you know what I mean? Just reality. And I feel like when his mum died, he lost that. Like he lost his anchor to
that grounding.
Yes.
I'm here, guys. I'm here. 1 second. I'm here. Keep talking.
Okay, cool. So like I feel like when his mum died, he lost his anchor, he lost his grounding, and that's when he started acting out and like doing mad stuff and carrying on like how we know him now, the Kanye now.
Yeah.
And away from that genius car. I still think he has that. He still has that genius streak in him, but it was more like out. But I just felt like him going into that situation in a world where it was all about eyes and social media and likes and brand and whatever, it just didn't do him any good. And for me, it just felt like, and Hollywood always feels like sometimes some of these relationships are either for status or something other than what it really is.
That's what I was gonna say, because
I was waiting for it to just happen. I was like, when are they gonna just say, all right, guys, we're not together anymore?
I wasn't thinking, oh, I was gonna yam out and anything like that, just because of their emotional investment and their love and their, like the kids and all the rest of it, you get me? And it seemed like an empire is what they was building. And it is what they built essentially. So for me, it was just because she had to be with the reason why I understood it at first was because I felt like she had to be with someone who, for one, is besotted by her. And two, is able to roll with the punches when it comes to the celebrity thing, right? And still be someone that she can now say, because you have to understand that their union really, 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 really solidified in the public view around the same time as J and B, right? It was like a whole thing, right? So I felt like she needed someone who's definitely high up on the Richter scale of impact, cultural impact, and blah blah blah. Like she reveled in that as well, you know, like having him be, you know, this genius musical, you know, legend essentially. Anyone's gonna love being aligned with that, right? Pick me by that and all the rest of it. Fine. Him now, he obviously professed his love for her since Ray J time. Sex tape didn't change nothing for him. You get me? And he was like, that's who I want. I don't business what anyone's saying. And she's obviously fully the vixen of, you know, television and all the rest of it. So I felt like they shared you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours vibe through the whole thing, because they're both elevated names. I don't necessarily feel like he even would have entertained the situation that would have grounded him, because he wanted to have an it girl type situation. This is me completely judging my man's intentions and love, blah, blah, but I'm saying it didn't really, nothing else would have matched where he wanted to see himself in the world of entertainment, and is forever talking about Disney and billions of dollars and Ross Clark, who's worked with, and Gucci and Nike and Apple, and he's all like, he wants everything to be on cool, tick every box for attention, but he's ticking every high end, what is the top, tippity top of whatever. So that's how I felt like she fit into that. Like, we want to talk about a reality TV star, I have to have the biggest one. You get me? Like, if I'm gonna be with one, like nothing else. Him being with a Ross Clark, like a like a Dr. Dre had his wife and she don't do nothing to do with, you get me? That's not gonna work for him, because how can I put that into bars? You get me? Like, it's like one of them things where he wants to live a movie almost. That's a sense. That's what I get. And nothing less than Kim Kardashian would have really ticked that box. So that's why I thought, oh, this makes sense. This is a joint this is a joint effort on both of their parts. But yeah, man, to see it nyam out, I don't know.
Did you see somebody reminded everyone about the tweet that Amber Rose wrote like years ago? Basically, she tweeted years ago that, well, anyway, you can go, because basically years ago he went on Breakfast Club and said, oh, he had to take 10 cold showers after being like that. Like, so Ricardo went. So she clapped back and said, oh, anyway, you stay there and watch these Kardashians destroy you or whatever, or it's not going to work out, basically. And somebody brought up that tweet the other day, and I was passing up.
See it there? It's a shame to see any relationship nyam out, to be fair, but on this occasion, I'm kind of just happy it happened. I really hope Kanye finds someone that, and I don't mean like, oh, he needs to go into another relationship. I'm not saying, oh, I hope he finds another love interest and whatever. I just hope this time helps him, whether it's find himself or find
people. You don't want the madness for him.
Yeah, I don't. And I feel like that is a departure from that. And I hope it continues that way, that we get Kanye back. Do you know what I mean? And I know it's in my head, I'm always battling with myself because life's not about sometimes and Gets says it. And I tell you, sorry, I'm waffling. And I tell you why.
No, go for it.
So yeah, life is not about like always trying to go back to where you was, because that isn't growth. Do you know what I mean? And even though sometimes that place is great or it was great, life's about moving forward. And so when I say I want the old Kanye back, what I'm saying is I just want the best for him. I don't want him to be the old Kanye, because obviously he's grown and learned and, you know, I mean, moved on. But Get said it in the intro to the album, the intro track. He says, what's the bar? Yeah, I think he says, F nostalgia, my best.
Yeah, ahead of me.
Yeah. I was like, that's it, man. So yeah, I just want the best for Kanye. So I'm happy that relationship is over. I know it sounds wild, but that's what I'm saying.
Just to touch upon that, because I haven't deep the Gets thing yet, because you know that's a whole turn off the lights, headphones on vibe. You get me? I haven't managed to find that time yet, because he's one of my favorite artists. So I just want to take that moment. But yeah, just to touch up on what you just said and what he just said, what he's saying in the intro, like that is so, like, that really resonates with me, because as when you do something great, especially when it's from a time when the industry was different, it's hard for people to now understand that you're still doing bits, because, you know, it's just, I've battled with that in the past in terms of like my solo whatever I'm doing, like when it doesn't, you know, in terms of attention and the excitement it brings for people. Whenever I talk about anything fundamental, it's like, oh my days, you get what I'm saying? Like, we had 2 songs, bitch. You get me? Like, you guys are trying to act like, obviously, I know it was absolutely mind-blowing for the time and for the industry. And
it was.
Yeah, and it was about your live show as well, Bobby. Don't forget that.
Yeah, it's true.
Live.
It's true.
I think it was more about the live experience than anything. So, and people never had that. We ain't had that since, I don't know.
Not at all. It hasn't happened.
Right. And it hasn't happened again on that level. Do you get what I'm saying? It might have happened on a commercial level where they're obviously trying to use all the tools and whatever to be like, this is the new thing.
Smoke machines, fire.
It hasn't happened. It hasn't, I'm saying.
It hasn't happened again.
It hasn't happened.
Been on stage with no props, no mad lighting, and just killing it. That hasn't happened.
It hasn't.
Yeah. And it's been 20 years. But beside that, for me, it's like, cool, whatever I'm doing now is it's always going to be in the back of my mind or whoever's minds, compared to, you know, the MTVs, the shows, and the blah blah blah, and the hysteria and the pandemonium and what we was doing. It's like, it's a different time though. I can't, whatever I'm doing now can't necessarily cut through the same way because of the nostalgia aspect of it. Do you get me? Like, it's the nostalgia of it. When people discover things when they're young and it comes up again, it hits so differently, that trying to come up with something new for these pitney now, it is absolutely, it's a challenge for anyone, and have it be on that scale. It's like, I'm trying to find a different artist that I can compare it to, but it's like it's like constantly, it's the, oh, what are you doing now? It's like, I've definitely done a lot. I've definitely got awards. I've definitely gone to Korea on my solo efforts and all these types of things. But because it was on MTV, do you get what I'm saying? And it was a different time in music, and like the exposure of it all. Even Dora Martin was absolutely killing, but it was like the stuff that me and Cherry had done prior to that is always, do you get me? It was in a transitional time when you had to submit your video to television, and you was on CBBC or whatever to do your live performance, and Nickelodeon and stuff like that. All these types of things. It's a different scale of success, and now you're trying to compare whatever music video streams. My music video streams could be in the millions. It's never gonna be, in some people's minds, as big as what Fundamental was, because of the nostalgia tag to it. You get me? Like, it's like what it does, that when I could post, I've done this, I'm doing this or whatever, I'm doing that show, blah, blah, blah. My video's been on, I don't know, fucking 106 and Park. We just done this many streams, independent, blah, blah, blah. All that stuff is screaming success, 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 right? But when I post, oh, this is a picture from when me and the boys was, if you see what happens in my comments, it's wild, bro. It's absolutely insane. It's like, okay, cool. Like, you guys want the group back? I don't know how it's gonna happen. You get me? You get me? It's like, let man be. And honestly, if I'm speaking authentically, I feel like that's where Varen is as well. Like, as much as, because we've definitely spoken about the group rejoining and stuff like that. But it's about every man finding their thing in it. Yeah. And validating themselves in different ways, and exploring their separate passions. Like, Baron's obviously killing it. Carl's doing his acting thing, book writing. Do you get me? Like, we all still speak and catch up every now and again. But whatever we're doing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I'm sure Baron can attest to this. Like, if he was to, you know, Baron's doing absolute bits, right? He's Grammys and writing for people and hear them wherever, and writing with the legends that we actually grew up listening to, right? But have him post something about Fundamental on his timeline, and it's a different, then it's going to be an absolute different energy that he's going to receive, just because of that nostalgia and what it was for that time. And I don't know how one, obviously you have to accept it because it's something that I'm majorly proud of, but trying to shake that off and be like, I'm my own person now. You get me? It's tough. And I feel like that's the energy that what he said was in. Do you get me? Like, 100%. Nostalgia's great. 100%. But allow me with the nostalgia. Like, I get you guys want that. Do you get me? Like how I was doing, but I'm a sophisticated artist. I think about what I'm doing now. I craft masterpiece projects and all these types of things. And if you don't look to what's happening now, you'll just hang on to ghetto and all the rest of it. Like, so that really lashed me. Like, When I ain't even listened to Rascal Project and Molester
Listen,
already.
Project is mad, and you know what I like about Gets is he has matured in his like artistry, and it's so beautiful to watch. Like listening to him speak, and then like listening to his project, you kind of you're kind of just watching him grow into like a very wise man. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So even that nostalgia thing, like I seen a clip of interview of him when he's like, you know what? If I listen to you, man, I would still be doing them songs from back in the day. And the songs you're gassed about now that I've just done would have never been made. You know what I mean? And he's like, you know what? It's great that you like this, but let me develop, like let me have my experience and give that to you so you can be gassed about that. And I can take that and move that forward rather than always just giving you the ghetto. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man, I haven't taken in all of the project, probably like halfway into it, but I keep rewinding, like the quotables, like, and some of the stuff just goes over your head. You know what I mean? And then you listen to it again, you're like, nah.
You know what's funny? He's talking about like the new school, like the people that are, he's like, oh, all you guys do is talk about drip. Oh, don't drown me, please. I was like,
oh my gosh.
Boy.
Bars, isn't it?
Boy. I was like, oh, the tigs.
Bars.
You know what I think was admirable as well? The rollout plan.
Yeah.
This, and I know Jermaine, you would have appreciated this if you, I don't think you're really on Instagram much now, innit? You're not really on Instagram that much now.
No, not as much now.
But the rollout for this project, this album, has been so sick.
Yeah.
Like so, like the artwork, the moving artwork, like the fact that he put the features in the split of his face, and his face is like, and the older gets, like, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It has been. You know what? Do you know what? Two very different worlds, but I think what they both have done for me, and again, talking authentically, has revived me as an artist. So Gets and Jasmine Sullivan, two very, and I know you hate this word, Cherry, underappreciated, I would say. I've been underrated, but I think in my eyes, they just don't. You want to see them win as a fan. You want to see them win. You want to see them at.
But they are though.
Yeah, they are. They are. And I'm not saying that they're not.
Do you know what's funny about what you just said? Is that's what I'm talking about. They're not underrated because in this fucking jungle that we're living in right now, they are absolutely winning.
Yeah. 100%.
Jasmine Sullivan is probably winning more than the last 2 albums that she dropped.
100%.
Right?
100%.
But because we latch onto the Lions and Tigers and Bears nostalgia of it all,
it's true.
I'm not feeling like it's measuring up.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm talking about. It's like Gets is actually winning, like with The Guardian and all these types of things, giving him these rave reviews.
Yeah.
He's winning more than he's ever won. But because we're latched onto the nostalgia of it, that's what happens. It's like these people are not underrated.
They're not.
But
they're not.
We can't look through the bullshit to see that actually when you actually put a measuring stick on what they're doing right now, they're actually killing. I never saw Jasmine Sullivan on Jimmy Fallon and them thing.
Never. She just did Super Bowl, which is mad.
How is that not the biggest? That's the biggest stage in the world in America, right?
Let me land.
Jasmine Sullivan has elevated like that off of an EP, yeah.
But here's my point. Here's my point to this. So that was like the sidetrack point. The point to this is, as artists, they have stayed true to themselves.
Like, both of them.
Yeah, both of them. And this is what's beautiful about it. And this is what's beautiful about now seeing like the sun really shine on them. Is they didn't waver. Do you know what I mean? Like the industry went there, the industry went here. People were saying, do this. Vibes came and went. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they stay true to, I'm not saying they stay true to a sound, but they stayed true to who they were. Like,
Yeah.
Get was Gets through from the early 90s to now, and Jasmine Sullivan has been from the mid 2000s to now. She hasn't wavered. She's grown, and you've seen the growth in her artistry, but she stayed true to who she has been. And to watch that, and it's taken years. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's taken years. Jasmine has been in the game, what, 15 years, maybe?
20 years. Yeah.
You see what I mean? Same with Gets. He's been in the game years. And I was having a conversation with someone, and this is what I hate about the industry sometimes, is that after you've been doing it for a while, people write you off, like the industry write you off, like, oh, well, if you haven't gone yet, then you're not gonna go at all now. You've been 10 years or 15 years, 20 years, you ain't just sit down because nothing's gonna happen. And it's nonsense. That narrative is bollocks, because you're watching people in front of our eyes do the biggest heights of their career after being in the industry for longer than people are writing people off for.
Yeah.
And you know what? As long as you keep betting on yourself,
this is
you're
it,
gonna throw a mixture up to everyone.
This is it, Cherry.
Feeling truly, people aren't going to invest in what they see you believe in. If you're like, still believe I had a conversation with this on another podcast the other day that I guested on. It's like, as long as I've still got fire in my belly to create and to share with you, I'm here. I'm presenting myself continuously in my art. And I'm not going to that.
This is it. And for that, those two have revived me as an artist. Like, just to know, do you know what I mean? It doesn't even matter if I do this for the next 50 years. If I'm happy and I'm creating from my truth, then it doesn't matter. If it goes where it goes, that's the bonus. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as I'm doing what I'm doing here, then there's no rules, man. There's no rules. There's none of this. You're in the graveyard of this because you've been doing this, or you've been signed and dropped 2 times, and all of that doesn't matter. Like, it just stay true to who you are and make music.
It's funny because, like, that's kind of how I've been viewing music for myself. I have to make sure that everything else I'm happy with, like where I'm at financially, where I'm at creatively, with other projects outside of music, for me to feel that childhood like passion for it. Because for one, I can't, no one can put all their eggs in this music basket. So therefore, I need to, like I said last time, I need to approach it like I don't care about the results. And just, in response to the Jasmine Sullivan and staying true to who they are, like, it happens for absolutely I just need people to recognize that staying true to who you are. Like, I get that we have to do the trends and try and elevate quickly, and but please, I beg everyone, every artist who's genuinely talented, like, stick to your guns, because what you provide is the thing that is that's where the value is. It's not in the music, it's not in the you hopping on a buzzword or anything like them type of things that obviously can help in a moment and get your temporary views, but those things do not last. It's your vibe that lasts longer than everything else. Because have Kendrick come back now, our eyes are like, shum. Do you get me? Because he brings a vibe that no one else can fuck with. Like, and it's his thing. It's the same thing with Angel. Like, it's like whenever they decide to come out again, it's not the songs, it's their vibe. It's the reason why Usher still is Usher, bro. It's even his vibe.
Up on the last podcast, yeah.
Say it again. Even though what?
Even though you mashed him up on the last podcast.
Just give me confessions too, and then we can revisit that conversation. But what I'm saying, like, like, it's the vibe of these people. It's the reason why Beyonce is Beyonce. It's nothing. It's the songs are the songs. Obviously, they're big songs or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the vibe of Beyonce. that we latch onto.
It's true.
That no one else can replicate.
It's true, man.
Regardless of whatever Ross Clark dance moves you got. You get me? Like, it doesn't matter. Normani can never be Beyonce, bro. It's the vibe. Do you get me? It's like, so please, 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 no shade to Normani because she's bad, but we know what the Ross Clark situation is. Like, no one could be Beyonce. But it's just like, yeah, just please just be steadfast in your vibe and not even be like, even if you feel, I was watching Bohemian Rhapsody again yesterday.
Oh, such a sick film.
Their beginning, when my man went into the for the second album, and he was like, listen, we're doing this song, it's called Bohemian Rhapsody, it's 7 minutes long. Yeah. I don't know what half these words mean, but it's when my man explained it, was like, yeah, it's a night at the opera and all these types of things, bruv. And the exec was like, what, bruv? We're going with Your Best Friend Is My Car, or whatever the bullshit title of that song was. You get me? Like, and he was like, no, we're actually leaving because this is the vibe that we don't care. That song ended with a gong to Ross Clark. Do you get me? Like, and it was just them knowing that we are not like anyone else. Stop saying other bands to us. Do you get me? Like, and just being
fight for that.
Say it again.
Fight for that.
Yes. It's like, but it's a fight, and there's also the energy of, I don't have to fight. No, because you're wrong and I'm right and I'm out.
But I'm just if somebody doesn't see what I meant to say was, if someone doesn't see the vision the same way that you do, and they're in charge of your artistry or your catalog or whatever, you have to fight for it. And obviously, if you got the balls and they still don't catch the vision, then you just walk away. And I always commend that film for me. So amazing, like this journey, because obviously people don't tell you about those stories, and they don't tell you about when they first played them Bohemian Rhapsody. They were like, no,
yeah,
tell you that, and then it goes on to be like an absolute smash. Like,
but the thing is as well, what I also loved about that moment is not the fact that, because we've seen that before when the label thinks it's shit and they don't want to go with it and it's a smash or whatever. Everyone thought it was shit. Yeah. Like, they show up all the articles, ridiculous, fucking reductive, pandering to some bollocks. It doesn't, like, they had all the cuss words out there, yeah? But that's the most iconic song, to the point where they had to name the movie after it, right? Yeah. So it's just like, understand that it goes past what the gatekeepers or whatever are saying. It's the thing, that's the thing that locked them in to the thread of music history. One mad song, bruv.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, you can't replicate the Bohemian Rhapsody, bruv. It's all of them. What was my man in the thing saying? Scaramouche and all them thing there, and doing, as man was like, go higher. I want 7 more stacks, go higher. Like, no one was stacking up their things like Freddie wanted, bruv.
And no one could. Listen, that man, the one can sing, you see.
Listen,
sing range on range.
Absolutely mad. Man, I was talking about, I have 4 additional incisors to allow more range. Big mouth, more range.
Absolutely mad.
Different. Even when it was talking about, we want you're gonna be on the BBC, blah blah. We want more. Like, Freddie was different, you know. But if you haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody, that will inspire you so much in terms of standing, knowing who you are. Even down to his parents, he was like, listen, I'm changing up my name. You guys are trying to lock me into this little local vibe. And I'm gonna be so massive out here. I'm out. You get me? Like record labels. What are you saying, Dad? Record label just called me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just in conclusion to my rant. Just really, really understand what you like and run with that.
Yeah, 100%.
Just stay in your vibe.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yep.
Because the moment we've seen it already. We've seen it. We've seen people come and go with the trends because they've latched onto the trend, and the trend goes out and they go with it. That's it. That's all I have to say.
And there's no coming back.
There's no, and when you try to come back, it's like, because now your fan base is people that don't business about nothing.
It's true. It's true.
They don't care about you and the whatever trend was. Yes, old, and your legacy is on that dead trend now. That's your whole thing. That's your whole vibe. So if you're not doing that vibe and people no longer like that vibe, you don't have a fan base.
Yeah. That's why you must write one good little song with one piano or one guitar.
That's gonna last longer than
Song standalone and with some very lovely productions and talk about real things.
Right.
Lovely.
What else did we have on the docket? Is that it?
Nah, there was that. I
Go
went
for it.
to talk about the Keisha Cole clip.
Oh, for fuck's sake.